leaves trembling in the wind beside the train. You held 2 paper tickets and studied every line, while the porters stacked the luggage underneath the station sign. We had planned the coast by morning and a room beside the sea, but the words became too difficult on platform number 3. Platform number 3, 1 suitcase, tickets 2. The train doors waited open, but neither of us moved. The whistle crossed the rooftops, the clock turned quietly, and the journey left without us from platform number 3. You gave me back my ticket with a careful little smile, then walked toward the entrance and stopped there for a while. I watched the final carriage become a narrow flame, then folded both the tickets and never spoke your name. There was kindness in our leaving, no one needed to be blamed. We had simply reached the border where 2 roads could not remain. Platform number 3, a bench beneath the clock. The rails held all the distance that we never chose to cross. I kept the unused tickets in a box with 1 brass key from the journey that departed at platform number 3. Some trains are meant for taking, some teach us how to stay, some carry only possibilities into the misty day. Platform number 3 now looks smaller than before. The station has new windows and a brighter marble floor. Yet when the evening train arrives, I hear that distant plea of 2 lives standing gently on platform number 3. Postmark from April on an envelope of cream. Your handwriting leaned forward as though hurrying toward me. You wrote about the garden and the train beside the hill, then ended with a sentence I can almost recite still. No declaration waited, no grand design appeared, only how the morning smelled and how you wished that I were near. Postmark from April, faded violet on the side, a page of little details from the spring we spent apart. The ink has turned to shadow, but the tenderness is clear in a postmark from April that traveled all these years. energy and age. Beside a pressed white blossom that had nearly lost its shape. The room was filled with daylight, the curtains breathed and swayed, and every line grew younger as I read the page again. What lasts is rarely thunder or the words we meant to say. Sometimes it is a grocery list and flowers on the way. Postmark from April, little circles, stamps and seams. A town written in blue ink and a row of waking trees. You asked if I was eating and if evenings felt too cold. Such ordinary caring made the paper feel like gold. Letters cross the distance without knowing where they land, yet a page can keep the pressure of the writer's living hand. Postmark from April, resting underneath my thumb. For a minute spring returns and your careful words are young. I place it in the dictionary where the blossom used to sleep. A postmark from April and the kindness I still keep. Photographs in the rain were scattered on the floor by the window where the evening used to find us once before. Your smile was nearly faded, but the light was still the same. Like a summer we had borrowed from a soft and distant frame. I didn't mean to open all the years we left behind, but the rain against the glass brought your face back to my mind. Old photographs in the rain still carry a little sun from the days we never noticed till they were already gone. Not a tear, not a storm, just a quiet silver pain. I still find the warmth of you in old photographs in the rain. The corners turned to amber, the colors lost their blue, but there was something gentle in the way I looked at you. A street I can't remember, the coat I used to wear, and your hand beside my shoulder like it had always been there. Some pictures never answer why the seasons had to change. They just hold a little silence in a soft, familiar way. Old photographs in like a quiet room at evening on a rainy day. Maybe all we keep of love is a color half alive, a face beneath the weather, and a moment caught in time. Old photographs in the rain now rest beside the light, like a chapter gently folded at the edge of night, when the world grows still again and the windows turn to gray. I can almost hear you laughing from so far away. Sunday at the picture house, we sat in row 13 with paper cups and winter coats and faces on the screen. The velvet curtains opened, the ceiling stars went dim. You whispered through the previews that you liked the violin. I hardly watched the actors or followed what they said. I watched the moving colors travel softly through your hair. Sunday at the picture house, 2 tickets in your hand. The whole wide world was black and white and easy to understand. We left before the credits as evening crossed the town, but Sunday at the picture house still turns the lights back down. The theater is a pharmacy, the marquee has been removed. No ushers in their burgundy, no music in the roof. I stood across the traffic with groceries in my arms and saw the ghost of row 13 behind the modern signs. The building may be altered, but the afternoon remains, with popcorn on your overcoat and sunlight after rain. Sunday at the picture house, a matinee for 2. The hero found his happy end while I sat close to you. We walked beneath the posters as the street lights settled down, and Sunday at the picture house became our secret town. Perhaps the finest movies are the ones we barely see, because the person sitting near us becomes the story we believe. Sunday at the picture house, the final reel has spun, yet somewhere velvet curtains rise and afternoon begins. I hear your careful whisper when the theater darkens down on Sunday at the picture house before we left the town. 5:30. The ropes were tapping wood. Fishermen were folding nets as slowly as they could. The gulls moved toward the rooftops. The tide climbed up the wall. You bought 2 cups of coffee from the weather-beaten stall. The ferry gave a warning, but we let the first one leave. There was time enough for talking and a little room to breathe. Harbor at 5:30, copper on the sea. Your shoulder near my shoulder where the evening used to be. The boats were turning homeward, the clouds were opening wide. Everything moved gently at the harbor before night. You said we should come back there when the weather turned to spring, and rent a room above the pier with blue walls and a sink. We never made that journey, yet the harbor stayed complete, with your paper cup between your hands and salt along the street. Some plans become more precious because they never had to change. They remain exactly as we spoke them by the water's silver edge. Harbor at 5:30, bells across the bay, a coat buttoned at your throat, a boat pulling away. We missed the second ferry and watched the daylight slide through the harbor at 5:30, where time forgot to hurry. I don't need the room above or the spring we never planned. The evening gave me everything when you warmed my coffee hand. Harbor at 5:30, the sea becomes a page where one unfinished afternoon never has to age. The tide returns without us, the ropes still tap the side, and I hear your gentle promise at the harbor before night. A Polaroid in my coat pocket slipped onto the bedroom floor. 2 figures by a frozen lake in 1984. Your scarf was bright and crooked, my gloves were far too large, and someone caught us laughing before the camera found its mark. The white frame had turned ivory, the date was hard to read, but winter kept its color in the smiles we didn't see. Polaroid in my coat pocket, snow behind your hair, a moment still developing, though no one waited there. The lake is barely visible, the sky is almost white, but your face beside my shoulder keeps the afternoon alive. I wore that coat for decades, then stored it in a case with buttons, thread, and cedar wood and things I couldn't place. Today I shook the lining and our winter tumbled free, a square of faded color that had traveled quietly. We never posed correctly, we were looking at the ground. Perhaps that's why the picture feels so honest to me now. Polaroid in my coat pocket, edges bent and small. You were laughing at the cold wind, I was laughing at it all. No perfect composition, no careful point of view, only snow across the frozen lake and one warm day with you. Time can bleach the background and soften every line, but joy can keep its outline when it happens without trying. Polaroid in my coat pocket now rests beside the clock. A winter afternoon returned from a hidden fold of cloth. I leave the coat unbuttoned as the evening settles in, with a square of faded color and the warmth beneath my skin. The key beneath the mat was silver, small and worn. You left it there for evenings when I came home before dawn. The hallway smelled of cedar, the kettle clicked at 3, and every room grew warmer when you opened it for me. We never owned much furniture, the walls were painted plain, but the floorboards knew our footsteps and the roof remembered rain. The key beneath the mat opened more than one front door. It opened quiet mornings and your coat across the floor, a lamp beside the sofa, a cat asleep upon your hat. Life was waiting softly with the key beneath the mat. The house belongs to strangers, there are roses by the gate. A different name is written on the brass beside the stairs. I passed it late in April when the lilacs filled the block, and almost reached instinctively for that little silver lock. I smiled at how the body keeps the habits of a home, long after every cupboard holds a life we've never known. The key beneath the mat no longer waits for me, but I know the narrow kitchen and the crack beside the sink. The smallest things were plenty in the days when we had that. One room, one borrowed table, and the key beneath the mat. street. It is someone leaving access to the life you chose to keep. The key beneath the mat has vanished with the years, yet the door still opens somewhere whenever spring appears. I hear the kettle turning and your slippers crossing back through the house we made together, with the key beneath the mats. At the Blue Cup Café, they still polish every spoon. Morning gathers on the tables in a pale November room. The chair beside the bookcase has a mark upon the wood where you carved a tiny circle on the day we understood. The woman at the counter doesn't recognize my face, but she sets a blue cup down in our familiar place. At the Blue Cup Café, steam is curling through the air. I can see your quiet smile in the empty wooden chair. Nothing here is asking why the years moved on this way. There is only warmth and china at the Blue Cup Café. The menu has grown smaller, the curtains have been changed, yet the clock above the doorway ticks in its patient way. A student near the window writes a letter line by line, and the rain along the awning keeps a rhythm close to mine. I taste the cinnamon you always used to choose, and the room becomes a morning neither one of us could lose. At the Blue Cup Café, every hour settles down while the people come and go through the quiet side of town. I finish what you ordered on that distant autumn day and leave a coin beside the saucer at the Blue Cup Café. Love may lose its address and still know where to sit in the chair beside the bookcase where the afternoon once lived. At the Blue Cup Café, even winter feels less cold. There are ordinary places that can keep a story whole. I close the door behind me as the bells begin to sway and carry one blue morning from the Blue Cup Café. Amber on the avenue, spilling from the evening sky. Shopkeepers were closing doors as summer wandered by. Your footsteps matched the rhythm of the buses rolling home, and every window held a world we'd always know. The city turned to honey as you slipped your hand in mine. We had nowhere we were going, and all the streets were kind. Amber on the avenue, golden on your face. We were young enough to linger without leaving any trace. No promise in our pockets, no map to guide us through. Only amber on the avenue, and an evening made for two. A florist swept the sidewalk, a bicycle passed slow. Someone opened up a window where a gentle record played. You laughed beneath the awning when the first cool wind arrived, and for one unhurried hour everything felt alive. The years have changed the storefronts, and the buses changed their route, but I still know that corner when the evening colors bloom. Amber on the avenue, warm against the stone. For a moment every doorway feels familiar as a home. I walk a little slower when the summer day is through. Under amber on the avenue, I walk beside you too. Some hours leave no photograph, no letter and no sign. They settle in the color of a certain place and time. Amber on the avenue, fading into blue. Nothing asks the night to stay, and nothing has to. The street becomes a gentle frame, the sky a quiet view, and amber on the avenue still carries me with you. At the Blue Cup Café, they still polish every spoon. Morning gathers on the tables in a the pale November room. The chair beside the bookcase has a mark upon the wood where you carved a tiny circle on the day we understood. The woman at the counter doesn't recognize my face, but she sets a blue cup down in our familiar place at the Blue Cup Café. Steam is curling through the air. I can see your quiet smile in the empty wooden chair. Nothing here is asking why the years moved on this way. There is only warmth and china at the Blue Cup Café. The menu has grown smaller. The curtains have been changed. Yet the clock above the doorway ticks in its patient way. A student near the window writes a letter line by line, and the rain along the awning keeps a rhythm close to mine. I taste the cinnamon you always used to choose, and the room becomes a morning neither one of us could lose. At the Blue Cup Café, every hour settles down while the people come and go through the quiet side of town. I finish what you ordered on that distant autumn day and leave a coin beside the saucer at the Blue Cup Café. Love may lose its address and still know where to sit in the chair beside the bookcase where the afternoon once lived. At the Blue Cup Café, even winter feels less cold. There are ordinary places that can keep a story whole. I close the door behind me as the bells begin to sway and carry one blue morning from the Blue Cup Café. The radio in room 17 was humming after 2. Between the weather and the news, a melody came through. The wallpaper was yellow, the suitcase on the chair, and suddenly your kitchen was waiting everywhere. I turned the volume slightly As the signal drifted thin, a voice from another city let the summer evening in. The radio in room 17 played what we used to dance to, barefoot near the table with the windows open wide. The room was small and borrowed, but the distance disappeared when the radio in room 17 brought your laughter near. A truck crossed through the parking lot, the hallway, elevator side. I sat beside the bedside lamp and let the station slide. The announcer named the hour, then spoke of warmer skies, while your apron and the kitchen tiles returned before my eyes. No photograph could show me how you moved across that floor, but four familiar measures opened every kitchen door. The radio in room 17 turned strangers into home. A little bass, a gentle chord, and I was not alone. I let the final measure fade beneath the midnight air, while the radio in room 17 kept you dancing there. Music asks no questions about who stayed or went. It finds the room you're sleeping in and pays the heart its rent. The radio in room 17 went silent before dawn, yet the kitchen stayed around me long after it was gone. Sunrise with the softest step somehow, for the radio in room 17 had brought me home for a while. Your initials on the glass appeared beneath my sleeve, 2 letters drawn in winter on a night we meant to leave. The windows of the diner were clouded by the heat, while snow collected quietly along the narrow street. You traced them with your finger, then circled them with mine, as though 2 simple letters could outlast the closing time. Your initials on the glass stayed until the room grew clear. For a while they held us both in a language only we could hear. The waitress raised the blinds and morning gathered fast, but I watched the sun move slowly through your initials on the the glass. Years later, in another town, a cafe window steamed, and someone drew a little heart beside a crooked name. I felt the winter diner return without a sound. The red booth and the jukebox, the snowflakes drifting down. The smallest mark can carry more than paper ever can. A fingertip, a pane of glass, a brief and human hand. Your initials on the glass were never meant to stay. They vanished when the heater stopped and daylight filled the place. Still, every fogged up window lets that winter evening pass, and I see two letters shining in your initials on the glass. We spend our lives on surfaces that time is sure to clear. Yet something in the gesture can remain when words disappear. Your initials on the glass are nowhere I can find, but the touch that placed them there has never left my mind. The world may wipe the window and the seasons travel past, still one winter waits behind your initials on the glass. Your initials on the glass. Platform number 3 was shining after rain. The timetable was trembling in the wind beside the train. You held 2 paper tickets and studied every line, while the porters stacked the luggage underneath the station sign. We had planned the coast by morning and a room beside the sea, but the words became too difficult on platform number 3. Platform number 3, 1 suitcase, tickets 2. The train doors waited open, but neither of us moved. The whistle crossed the rooftops, the clock turned quietly, and the journey left without us from platform number 3. You gave me back my ticket with a careful little smile, then walked toward the entrance and stopped there for a while. I watched the final carriage become a narrow flame, then folded both the tickets and never spoke your name. There was kindness in our leaving, no one needed to be blamed. We had simply reached the border where 2 roads could not remain. Platform number 3, a bench beneath never chose to cross. I kept the unused tickets in a box with one brass key from the journey that departed at platform number 3. Some trains are meant for taking, some teach us how to stay, some carry only possibilities into the misty day. Platform number 3 now looks smaller than before. The station has new windows and a brighter marble floor. Yet when the evening train arrives, I hear that distant plea of 2 lives standing gently on platform number 3. Postmark from April on an envelope of cream. Your handwriting leaned forward as though hurrying toward me. You wrote about the garden and the train beside the hill, then ended with a sentence I can almost recite still. No declaration waited, no grand design appeared, only how the morning smelled and how you wished that I were near. Postmark from April, faded violet on the side, a page of little details from the spring we spent apart. The ink has turned to shadow, but the tenderness is clear in a postmark from April that traveled all these years. I found it in a dictionary between the G and H, beside a pressed white blossom that had nearly lost its shape. The room was filled with daylight, the curtains breathed and swayed, and every line grew younger as I read the page again. What lasts is rarely thunder or the words we meant to say. Sometimes it is a grocery list and flowers on the way. Postmark from April, little circles, stamps and seams, a town written in blue ink and a row of waking trees. You asked if I was eating and if evenings felt too cold. Such ordinary caring made the paper feel like gold. Letters cross the distance without knowing where they land, yet a page can keep the pressure of the writer's living hand. Postmark from April, resting underneath my thumb. For a minute spring returns and your careful words are young. I place it in the dictionary where the blossom used to sleep. A postmark from April and the kindness I still keep. scattered on the floor by the window where the evening used to find us once before. Your smile was nearly faded, but the light was still the same. Like a summer we had borrowed from a soft and distant frame. I didn't mean to open all the years we left behind, but the rain against the glass brought your face back to my mind. Old photographs in the rain still carry a little sun from the days we never noticed till they were already gone. Not a tear, not a storm, just a quiet silver pain. I still find the warmth of you in old photographs in the rain. The corners turned to amber, the colors lost their blue, but there was something gentle in the way I looked at you. A street I can't remember, the coat I used to wear, and your hand beside my shoulder like it had always been there. Some pictures never answer why the seasons had to change. They just hold a little silence in a soft, familiar way. Old photographs in the rain still whisper through the years, with a love too light for sorrow and too warm to disappear. I don't try to turn back time, I just let the memories stay, like a quiet room at evening on a rainy day. Maybe all we keep of love is a color half alive, a face beneath the weather, and a moment caught in time. Old photographs in the rain now rest beside the light, like a chapter gently folded at the edge of night. When the world grows still again and the windows turn to gray, I can almost hear you laughing from so far away. Sunday at the picture house, we sat in row 13 with paper cups and winter coats and faces on the screen. The velvet curtains opened, the ceiling stars went dim. You whispered through the previews that you liked the violin. I hardly watched the actors or followed what they said. I watched the moving colors travel softly through your hair. Sunday at the picture house, 2 tickets in your hand. The whole wide world was black and white and easy to understand. We left before the credits as evening crossed the town, but Sunday at the picture house still turns the lights back down. The theater is a pharmacy. The marquee has been removed. No ushers in their burgundy, no music in the roof. I stood across the traffic with groceries in my arms and saw the ghost of row 13 behind the modern signs. The building may be altered, but the afternoon remains, with popcorn on your overcoat and sunlight after rain. Sunday at the picture house, a matinee for 2. The hero found his happy end while I sat close to you. We walked beneath the posters as the street lights settled down, and Sunday at the picture house became our secret town. Perhaps the finest movies are the ones we barely see, because the person sitting near us becomes the story we believe. Sunday at the picture house, the final reel has spun, yet somewhere velvet curtains rise and afternoon begins. I hear your careful whisper when the theater darkens down on Sunday at the picture house before we left the town. Harbor at 5:30. The ropes were tapping wood. Fishermen were folding nets as slowly as they could. The gulls moved toward the rooftops. The tide climbed up the wall. You bought 2 cups of coffee from the weather-beaten stall. The ferry gave a warning, but we let the first one leave. There was time enough for talking and a little room to breathe. Harbor at 5:30, copper on the sea. Your shoulder near my shoulder, where the evening used to be. The boats were turning homeward, the clouds were opening wide. Everything moved gently at the harbor before night. You said we should come back there when the weather turned to spring. stayed complete, with your paper cup between your hands and salt along the street. Some plans become more precious because they never had to change. They remain exactly as we spoke them by the water's silver edge. Harbor at 5:30, bells across the bay, a coat buttoned at your throat, a boat pulling away. We missed the second ferry and watched the daylight slide through the harbor at 5:30, where time forgot to hurry. I don't need the room above or the spring we never planned. The evening gave me everything when you warmed my coffee hand. Harbor at 5:30, the sea becomes a page where one unfinished afternoon never has to age. The tide returns without us, the ropes still tap the side, and I hear your gentle promise at the harbor before night. Polaroid in my coat pocket slipped onto the bedroom floor. Two figures by a frozen lake in 1984. Your scarf was bright and crooked, my gloves were far too large, and someone caught us laughing before the camera found its mark. The white frame had turned ivory, the date was hard to read, but winter kept its color in the smiles we didn't see. Polaroid in my coat pocket, snow behind your hair, a moment still developing, though no one waited there. The lake is barely visible, the sky is almost white, but your face beside my shoulder keeps the afternoon alive. I wore that coat for decades, then stored it in a case with buttons, thread, and cedar wood and things I couldn't place. Today I shook the lining and our winter tumbled free, a square of faded color that had traveled quietly. We never posed correctly, we were looking at the ground. Perhaps that's why the picture feels so honest to me now. Polaroid in my coat pocket, edges bent and small. You were laughing at the cold wind, I was laughing at it all. No perfect composition, no careful point of view, only snow across the frozen lake and one warm day with you. Time can bleach the background and soften every line, but joy can keep its outline when it happens without trying. I leave the coat unbuttoned as the evening settles in, with a square of faded color and the warmth beneath my skin. The key beneath the mat was silver, small and worn. You left it there for evenings when I came home before dawn. The hallway smelled of cedar, the kettle clicked at 3, and every room grew warmer when you opened it for me. We never owned much furniture, the walls were painted plain, but the floorboards knew our footsteps and the roof remembered rain. The key beneath the mat opened more than one front door. It opened quiet mornings and your coat across the floor, a lamp beside the sofa, a cat asleep upon your hat. Life was waiting softly with the key beneath the mat. The house belongs to strangers, there are roses by the gate. A different name is written on the brass beside the stairs. I passed it late in April when the lilacs filled the block, and almost reached instinctively for that little silver lock. I smiled at how the body keeps the habits of a home, long after every cupboard holds a life we've never known. The key beneath the mat no longer waits for me, but I know the narrow kitchen and the crack beside the sink. The smallest things were plenty in the days when we had that. One room, one borrowed table, and the key beneath the mat. A home is not the plaster or the number by the street. It is someone leaving access to the life you chose to keep. The key beneath the mat has vanished with the years, yet the door still opens somewhere whenever spring appears. I hear the kettle turning and your slippers crossing back through the house we made together with the key beneath the mat. At the Blue Cup Café, they still polish every spoon. Morning gathers on the tables in a pale November room. The chair beside the bookcase has a mark upon the wood where you carved a tiny circle on the day we understood. The woman at the counter doesn't recognize my face, but she sets a blue cup down in our familiar place. At the Blue Cup Café, steam is curling through the air. I can see your quiet smile taste the cinnamon you always used to choose, and the room becomes a morning neither one of us could lose. At the Blue Cup Café, every hour settles down while the people come and go through the quiet side of town. I finish what you ordered on that distant autumn day and leave a coin beside the saucer at the Blue Cup Café. Love may lose its address and still know where to sit in the chair beside the bookcase where the afternoon once lived. At the Blue Cup Café, even winter feels less cold. There are ordinary places that can keep a story whole. I close the door behind me as the bells begin to sway and carry one blue morning from the Blue Cup Café. Amber on the avenue, spilling from the evening sky. Shopkeepers were closing doors as summer wandered by. Your footsteps matched the rhythm of the buses rolling home, and every window held a world we thought we'd always know. The city turned to honey as you slipped your hand in mine. We had nowhere we were going, and all the streets were kind. Amber on the avenue, golden on your face. We were young enough to linger without leaving any trace. No promise in our pockets, no map to guide us through. Only amber on the avenue, and an evening made for two. A florist swept the sidewalk, a bicycle passed slow. Someone opened up a window where a gentle record played. You laughed beneath the awning when the first cool wind arrived, and for one unhurried hour everything felt alive. The years have changed the storefronts and the buses changed their route, but I still know that corner when the evening colors bloom. Amber on the avenue, warm against the stone. For a moment of a certain place and time. Amber on the avenue, fading into blue. Nothing asks the night to stay, and nothing has to. The street becomes a gentle frame, the sky a quiet view, and amber on the avenue still carries me with you. At the Blue Cup Café, they still polish every spoon. Morning gathers on the tables in a pale November room. The chair beside the bookcase has a mark upon the wood where you carved a tiny circle on the day we understood. The woman at the counter doesn't recognize my face, but she sets a blue cup down in our familiar place. At the Blue Cup Café, steam is curling through the air. I can see your quiet smile in the empty wooden chair. Nothing here is asking why the years moved on this way. There is only warmth and china at the Blue Cup Café. The menu has grown smaller, the curtains have been changed, yet the clock above the doorway ticks in its patient way. A student near the window writes a letter line by line, and the rain along the awning keeps a rhythm close to mine. I taste the cinnamon you always used to choose, and the room becomes a morning neither one of us could lose. At the Blue Cup Café, every hour settles down while the people come and go through the quiet side of town. I finish what you ordered on that distant autumn day and leave a coin beside the saucer at the Blue Cup Café. Love may lose its address and still know where to sit in the chair beside the bookcase where the afternoon once lived. At the Blue Cup Café, even winter feels less cold. There are ordinary places that can keep a story whole. I close the door behind me as the bells begin to sway and carry one blue morning from the Blue Cup Café. The radio in room 17 was humming after 2. Between the weather and the news, a melody came through. The wallpaper was yellow, the suitcase on the chair, and suddenly your kitchen was waiting everywhere. I turned the volume slightly as the signal drifted thin. A voice from another city let the summer evening in. The radio in room 17 played what we used to dance to. Barefoot near the table with the windows open wide. The room was small and borrowed, but the distance disappeared when the radio in room 17 brought your laughter near. A truck crossed through the parking lot, the hallway, elevator side. I sat beside the bedside lamp and let the station slide. The announcer named the hour, then spoke of warmer skies, while your apron and the kitchen tiles returned before my eyes. No photograph could show me how you moved across that floor, but four familiar measures opened every kitchen door. The radio in room 17 turned strangers into home. A little bass, a gentle chord, and I was not alone. I let the final measure fade beneath the midnight air, while the radio in room 17 kept you dancing there. Music asks no questions about who stayed or went. It finds the room you're sleeping in and pays the heart its rent. The radio in room 17 went silent before dawn, yet the kitchen stayed around me long after it was gone. I packed my things at sunrise with the softest step somehow, for the radio in room 17 had brought me home for a while. along the narrow street. You traced them with your finger, then circled them with mine, as though two simple letters could outlast the closing time. Your initials on the glass stayed until the room grew clear. For a while they held us both in a language only we could hear. The waitress raised the blinds and morning gathered fast, but I watched the sun move slowly through your initials on the glass. Years later, in another town, a cafe window steamed, and someone drew a little heart beside a crooked name. I felt the winter diner return without a sound. The red booth and the jukebox, the snowflakes drifting down. The smallest mark can carry more than paper ever can. A fingertip, a pane of glass, a brief and human hand. Your initials on the glass were never meant to stay. They vanished when the heater stopped and daylight filled the place. Still, every fogged up window lets that winter evening pass, and I see two letters shining in your initials on the glass. We spend our lives on surfaces that time is sure to clear. Yet something in the gesture can remain when words disappear. Your initials on the glass are nowhere I can find, but the touch that placed them there has never left my mind. The world may wipe the window and the seasons travel past, still one winter waits behind your